What's going on, y'all? Worth Fabian. We are back with the video, man. We're doing a reaction to disturbing new claims in teens cruise ship death. So did a reaction to this the other day about a teen who went missing on a cruise ship, suspected foul play, and she was found stuffed underneath her bed. Uh, I don't know why they've presumably taken the stepbrother as a suspect, or they're looking at him as a suspect. Because when I first got insight to this story, I'm just wondering, like, they were very like blase and vague with the context of the details. I was very excuse me, I was very disappointed in that reporting, because it was just trash. Let's keep it honest. So let's go ahead and hop into this. This is Fox News. I think I had watched Inside Edition before, and I mean, what else do I expect? Let's go ahead and hop into the video, man.
Anna Kepner, the 18-year-old Florida cheerleader who died on a Carnival cruise earlier this month, was honored during a celebration of life service yesterday in her hometown. But her ex-boyfriend is now saying there were warning signs from her stepbrother, who has been named as a potential suspect.
When I was on FaceTime with her and she was laying down and the brother tried to go on top of her, I was like, what the hell are you doing in her room, you know? Then he got scared and like ran away. And I heard his footsteps like running through the house, you know, because he got caught.
Joining me now is Fox News contributor and criminal defense attorney Josh Ritter. Josh, what do you make of these new details?
It's disturbing. You know, we're getting this slow trickle of information, which is a little frustrating. But as we get more information, it starts to turn or sound at least much more sinister. I mean, you know, initially, at least I would say that the official reports that we've been given is that we don't quite know if foul play was involved in her death. We know that certainly there was some person involved in concealing her body, but how she met her end, if there was violence involved or some other means, we don't know. But now, with this quote that we just heard there from the boyfriend, it's starting to sound like our worst fears may starting to become true. And I hope that investigators start to be more forthcoming with their information. Yeah,
and now this step-sibling, the stepbrother suspect, who has not yet been charged with anything, but if that does happen, could he be charged as a 16-year-old, as an adult?
Yeah, I mean, you know, every state has its mechanism for taking minors, you know, juveniles, those below.
So how juvenile is he, man? In the last piece that the media had uploaded, they're making it, well, I guess we didn't have that many details, but they were making it seem so vague, like, or they're actually saying, I thought he was like 16 or so, right? She's what, a senior, something like that, something along those lines, I believe, but, or 18, I think. But they was making it seem like the stepbrother was only a few years younger. If he's like 14, that's crazy. Like, because then I'm thinking and wondered why she would even allow him to be in her room, and like, why is he hanging out there if it's weird? Like, just
the age of majority, 18 years old, and charging them with adult crimes. These are the types of situations that we see that, especially crimes involving violence. If that is what in fact took place here, certainly a murder is going to qualify for something like that, where they might pursue it. It's up to the prosecutors. It's going to be up to Miami-Dade County. I think they have jurisdiction over this. It's being investigated by the feds, but they may hand that over to them. We'll see how this all plays out. But to answer your question more directly, yes, it's absolutely something that could be on the table.
And now we're learning that the 16-year-old was briefly hospitalized after the cruise, and also separately, his mom and his stepmother is pleading the fifth in a separate custody battle case. So this is complicated and horrific, and this innocent young woman lost her life somehow, and we're going to be following it. There's also this horrible situation that took place in Chicago on Monday. A man with 49 prior arrests is accused of setting a woman on fire on a train. She was just sitting there, and he doused her with gasoline, chased her, set her on fire, and now she's fighting for her life. 49 prior arrests. He's being now charged with a terrorism charge, and Mayor Brandon Johnson has spoken out about this, obviously condemning the situation as horrific, but also making comments saying that this is an isolated incident. What do you think about this case?
This is like the third case we've seen over the course of 3-4 months, and this is Chicago. I was wondering what city it was. The course of 3-4 months to where it's an individual with priors that commits some type of offense that goes commercialized, and he always got a slap on the wrist throughout his career criminal history. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. You got these repeat offenders who are on the streets at the flip of a dime could commit a crime, because obviously there's consistency in the portfolio. They do this. So why are we not giving football numbers to these kind of individuals? Because at this point, it's only a matter of time.
Problem. It doesn't seem to be isolated. It seems like we're hearing these stories more and more often, and it's incredibly frustrating. I have a background in law enforcement. I was a district attorney, and I knew how much we would look for opportunities where we could prevent future harm, where if we had somebody in the system and there was something that we could do now to stop them from further violence down the road, we would want to take advantage of that. Here, how many dozens of opportunities did they have to do exactly that? And instead, it becomes this revolving door situation where a person just continues to commit these low-level, petty-type crimes, even venturing into violence, and they continue to get released until we see something absolutely horrific like this. And then, everybody jumps on top of it to do something about it, but it's far too late at that point.
Yeah, and he had an ankle monitor on at the time of this burning incident because he had attacked a social worker at a hospital, but
Dude was on
despite
house
his
arrest.
extensive criminal history, a judge denied a request for him to be detained. So he was out, and now this woman is suffering the consequences as a result. Really quickly here, when it comes to the terrorism charge, is that more serious than attempted murder?
It's not that it's more serious, it's that it's going to add more exposure to him. So he's going to be looking at more prison time if he's eventually convicted of that. And I appreciate that, too. I appreciate even the kind of labeling of it, calling it terrorism, because that is essentially what it is. This woman, innocent person.
Doesn't
no
matter what you
contact
call
with
it.
him,
You can
just
call
going
it
about-
air balloon. You know what I mean? But it's the fact that an innocent individual lost their life. It doesn't matter how it makes you feel, that because all we need to see is justice to be served, period. Lock him up. Like, he should have been like spent years in some type of retrieval program, being submitted to the psych ward. There was various options, numerous options. But what's that, like his 20th arrest? I don't know what number we were on.
Out her day. This is the kind of stuff that fuels nightmares for people, because we want to feel safe just going about our day, and now this horrific thing takes place that may forever scar her. So if they're going to add a terrorism allegation to this, I applaud it.
It's just awful. And now we're hearing that if this poor woman does die, this man could be facing the death
She's
penalty.
holding on. See, just the wickedness in the world today, man. Y'all stay covered. Y'all stay blessed. Stay very aware out here. You know, there's like a million different conspiracies we could go down in association with this conversation topic, right? But I don't even want to get into it. But there's a lot of dubiousness going on. You got people roaming the streets. Repeat offenders could flip at the drop of a hat. You know, obviously the judicial system's not doing anything about it. The system, like they say, tends to be failing in various shapes, forms, and facets. But the point is, man, stay on your P's and Q's out here. Much love to y'all. Crazy story with the teenager on the cruise ship. I think it may be Buddy, the stepbrother, because I mean, the fact that information came out long before that, they now have this information in this story from the boyfriend about him jumping on her or whatever it is, he's physically abusive. They already had nabbed him up, sent him to live with a family member when this story first broke. So I think he's probably confessed internally to the family. Let's keep it honest. He's probably told somebody, because an uncle went to the media and was explaining, hey, this is, everybody was spilling all the beans. So comment down below. Let me know y'all's thoughts on this, man. Peace, love, prosperity. God bless. We'll see you on the next video.